Now that you've signed up for your ClassParrot account, you want to add students to your account, and then you want to practice sending a message. So if you come over here to Setup on your first class, you'll see your instructions for students and parents, and there's this handy button that says Printable Instructions. If you click on it, you get this lovely sheet that you can then print out and hand out to your students or hand out to your parents at open house. And if you go back, once your students start signing in, they're going to send that original message, or the parents, and they're going to get a message from ClassParrot that says, "Welcome to ClassParrot. Mr. or Mrs. Your name. Will need to know your name before adding you to the class. Please reply with your full name." And you can see here that my students have replied with their full name. After they send back their name, they'll receive a second message that says, "Welcome to ClassParrot, Michaela. Mr. or Mrs. Your name will use ClassParrot to keep you posted. Your phone number will always remain private." You'll be able to see who's signed up, and also if you don't like the name that someone used, you can go in and you can edit that name. So Isaiah doesn't really go by Anthony, and he doesn't really like to be called Anthony, so I'm going to update him to Isaiah. And it's kind of a good idea to show the students that they are going to show up here so that they don't give you silly names. Now let's look at how to send a message. This is my actual class. When you click on this tab that says Send a Message, you're going to get a blank box. Notice it's very much like Twitter. You get X number of characters that you can put in. So I'm going to tell my students, don't forget to bring your old district test tomorrow so that we can go over it in class. And they all know that I'm sending them this message. Now I could press send and it would send it immediately, but we're still in school. Number one, they shouldn't be getting text messages in school, and number two, it's really not going to do any good to tell them now because they're going to forget. So I clicked on this. Let me show you one more time. I clicked on this Schedule For button right here, and it pops up a little window, and I want this to go out tonight at about 7 o'clock. So I'm going to slide my scrubber over here. It says 17:36, that's 5. So let's do 19:36. That should be about 7:30. I figure they're done with dinner and they're starting to think about homework and what did I have to do for Miss Reimer's class. And I'm going to click Done. And then watch what it says when I click Send. Here's my message, and it says we'll send in about 5 hours, which is about 7:30. I can see by looking at my clock, so that's a good time for that. Also, while we're on this page, I want you to notice here is our history. And you see that everything that I've sent them is listed in this history in black and white. They also need to see that this pops up, and you can prove, if they say anything bad, you're going to be able to prove it. You can also see that I can reply personally. I can reply here to Morgan and send her a specific note, or I can reply specifically to Jake and send him a specific note, and then that way you have a little bit of communication that's strictly between you and that specific student. I could also create a poll. You can do a question here and have the students reply, and so let me show you one that I did so you can see what the poll actually looks like. When you get your replies back, your poll actually comes back to you in this lovely pie graph. So it's very customizable. You can put in any kind of message that you want. If you have any questions, you can go to ClassParrot.com, and there is an FAQ page that you can go to, and they'll answer all your questions. It's ClassParrot.com/FAQ. I hope you enjoyed learning about ClassParrot today, and I hope you get a lot of use out of it in your classroom.